Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving into some seriously fascinating data that flips everything we thought we knew about generating wealth totally upside down. You know, if getting rich has always felt like this impossible, giant puzzle to you, well, let's break down the actual mechanics of how money really moves. We're going to look at what the source material actually says about getting yourself on the winning side of the equation.
All right, to kick things off, just think about the number 117. Now imagine $1 billion. Got it? Okay, now multiply that by 117. That insane number is the approximate net worth in billions of Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. That is what extreme top-tier wealth looks like. It's a number so astronomical, it almost loses its meaning. And then, well, there's us.
Your current reality probably looks a whole lot different. You're likely grinding away at a job you got thanks to a degree you poured years of your life into, and yet you still feel entirely underpaid. I mean, living expenses are absolutely sky high right now, and any hope of saving a little cash gets completely eaten up by that pesky student debt just hanging over your head. Those big dreams you had, buying a dream house, traveling the world, or even just paying off your parents' mortgage, they kind of feel like they're just going to remain exactly that, dreams.
So when you see young billionaires out there, and then look back at your own bank account, it's baffling, right? Honestly, it makes you angry. You come to this harsh, super frustrating realization that the game is just rigged against you. You probably think, hey, they got lucky, they were born into it, or they just cheated their way to the top. It's so easy to assume you're just stuck on the losing side of an unfair system. But what if I told you that assumption is actually totally wrong?
We've all been conditioned to think the ultra-wealthy just inherited a massive trust fund. But wait until you hear this. A report by WealthX looked at individuals with a net worth of $30 million or more, and it completely shatters that Hollywood myth. Get this, 68% of them are entirely self-made. Seriously, zero inherited wealth. We are talking about people who were born into poverty or standard middle-class families. People like Howard Schultz, Oprah Winfrey, Elon Musk, and Sarah Blakely. So the million-dollar question is, what do these self-made billionaires know that we don't?
Part 1. The broken money equation.
Let's actually do the math on this broken equation we were all taught. If you're earning $20 an hour and working a standard 40-hour week, it would take you nearly 24 years to reach just $1 million. And get this, that's assuming you literally never pay taxes, never pay rent, and survive strictly on a diet of tap water and fresh air. You are trading your absolute most precious, non-renewable resource, your time, for money. And it's going to take you a quarter of a century just to hit $1 million.
And that brings us to the ultimate contrast. The old equation you've probably been living by your whole life is that time equals a salary, right? Like past a certain point, the entire purpose of your education was just to get a job so you could trade your time for a paycheck. But the self-made wealthy, they operate on a totally new equation. Perceived value equals wealth. In a capitalist society, you are not actually paid for your time. No, you are paid in exact proportion to the perceived value you provide.
Part 2. The real rules of wealth. So if we actually want to build wealth, we need to understand who controls the flow of the money. And that flow is dictated entirely by the market. Now, the market isn't just a bunch of guys in suits on Wall Street. It is you, your friends, your family, your neighbors. It's all of us. You know how people constantly complain that professional football players are vastly overpaid? Well, those players make millions simply because the market, meaning millions and millions of everyday fans, demands football, watches the matches, and buys the merchandise. The market perceives immense value in that entertainment, and so the wealth naturally flows right there.
And honestly, this illustrates just how ruthless the market actually is. Think about a cleaner versus an accountant. The cleaner is sweating, doing heavy, exhausting physical labor all day long, yet earns far, far less than an accountant who sits comfortably behind a desk. Why? Well, because market value is based on replaceability, not how much you sweat. The harsh truth is, almost anyone can learn to be a cleaner pretty quickly, so their replaceability is incredibly high. But the accountant? They spent years studying complex tax codes, and they literally saved their clients thousands of dollars. That makes their replaceability incredibly low. It really boils down to this. Your value is all about how hard you are to replace.
Part 3. Solving million-dollar problems. Okay, now that we know we're paid based on perceived value, how do we actually go about increasing it? Well, the absolutely crucial point here is this. If it's a million-dollar problem, then the solution will make you millions. The market literally throws money at solutions.
If you want to get wealthy, you have to stop obsessing over finding a paycheck and start actively listening to the market's frustrations. What are people constantly complaining about? What's incredibly inconvenient for folks? If it's a massive, billion-dollar problem, well, creating the solution will make you billions.
You really need to look no further than Amazon as the ultimate concrete example of this. Jeff Bezos definitely didn't just stumble into his wealth. He looked around at massive, widespread inconveniences, things like the sheer hassle of driving to physical stores, the agonizing weeks of waiting for mail-order deliveries to arrive, and super high retail prices. He saw all that and provided a seamless solution to those massive frustrations. Because the problems were so incredibly widespread, the market rewarded him with billions.
Part 4. The Power of Scale.
Now, finding a problem is really only half the battle. We also have to dodge a super dangerous trap that catches a lot of incredibly smart people. And that trap is creating a job disguised as a business. Let's say you're a local yoga teacher, and you're charging an impressive $100 an hour. Hey, congratulations! But guess what? You are still completely time-bound. There are literally only so many hours in a day that you can physically teach. Contrast that with TrueScale, creating an online yoga class that runs 24/7. You do the work to create the lessons exactly once, and then an infinite number of people all around the world can buy it simultaneously, and it doesn't require a single extra second of your time.
So here is the exact execution playbook for generating extreme wealth. Step 1, you start with a market problem. Notice I said a problem, never just your personal passion. Step 2, find a scalable solution. We're talking software, digital media, something that isn't bottlenecked by local foot traffic. Step 3, automate and outsource. You want to build systems so the business runs like a well-oiled machine completely without you. And finally, step 4, you either let it run passively, bringing in cash while you're fast asleep, or you move to the ultimate payday, which is acquisition.
That step 4 brings us to the liquidation payoffs. This is the moment when all that intense struggle of building your system finally comes to fruition. Think about it. Instagram was acquired by Facebook for a cool $1 billion. PayPal was sold to eBay for $1.5 billion, and that specific deal put a staggering $165 million straight into Elon Musk's pocket. These massive liquidation events, they are the direct result of building a highly scalable solution to a vast, widespread market problem.
Part 5. The true value of money.
We've covered the mechanics, we've covered the scale, but we have to ask, why go through this incredible struggle in the first place? Well, because the truth is, it was never really about the money itself. Money is literally just a piece of paper. Or, increasingly today, just a pixelated number on a banking app screen. It's actually a complete illusion. Its value is entirely backed by our collective belief in it. You don't actually want pieces of paper. What you want is what that paper represents. The ultimate destination has always been and always will be time and freedom. True wealth isn't some specific monetary figure in a bank account, it is a sensation. It's that absolute total liberty to wake up in the morning and do exactly what you want, whenever you want, without ever having to panic about making rent or sacrificing your dreams. It is fundamentally about buying back the one resource you can never, ever reclaim once it's gone, and that is your time.
This whole philosophy is heavily inspired by the brilliant works of M.J. DeMarco. And it really boils down to this one singular, monumental shift in mindset. If you want to achieve that total freedom, you absolutely must burn the old equation. Stop chasing money. The market literally does not care about your desire to be rich. Instead, start chasing solutions to problems, and let solving those problems become the meaningful struggle in your life.
I want to leave you with one final vital thought to reflect on today. I want you to really look at your daily habits, your career, your side projects. How many more hours of your finite life are you going to let slip right through your fingers on the wrong side of the equation? Ask yourself right now, are you chasing money or are you chasing solutions? The answer to that question is going to determine the rest of your financial life. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, and I'll see you next time.